Hello everyone, I am Winchell Maybe Sullivan, and in this video we will analyze the story or the movie Trilogy Lord of the Rings by John Ronald Reuel Tolkien using the Proppian analysis or the Vladimir Propp's Morphology of Folktale. So what is Morphology of Folktales? So according to Vladimir, folktales or stories are character driven, and the plot develops from the actions or decisions of the characters and how they functions in the story or how they function in the story. So morphology of folktale is the structural elements or functions that is typically seen in Russian folktales. So Vladimir analyzed 100 Russian folktales, and with this, he identified 31 narratives, which is useful tool in understanding not just the Russian folktales but also the other stories. So I think we are all familiar with the trilogy Lord of the Rings. So you can read it or we can also watch the movie. So in this video, I will be the one who will analyze the first volume, which is the Fellowship of the Ring, followed by Vin, who will discuss the second volume, the Two Tower, followed by Ashley, who will review the final volume, which is the Return of the King. So now let's begin the Proppian analysis with the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay, so the story starts with the narration about the forging of the rings, a little information about the elves, dwarves, humans, and especially the Dark Lord Sauron, who forged the Ring of Power, the ring that can rule them all, the ring that can bring chaos to the Middle-earth. Then it was followed by the narration of Bilbo Baggins about the hobbits and the Shire. So, in this part, it is the initial situation. It introduces us the past events, then provide us the initial state from which change arises. So from the forging of the rings to the debate of Dark Lord Sauron, then until Bilbo Baggins find the ring. However, he is unknown or oblivious to its power to corrupt one's heart. So after initial situation, it was followed by the absentation, when someone goes missing or anything that has something to do with living. So in The Lord of the Rings, Bilbo Baggins decided to left the Shire during his 111th birthday. So he planned to leave everything behind to Frodo, including the ring. However, he became reluctant, but due to Gandalf's urging, he gives up the ring. So after the absentation, interdiction will follow. It has something to do with the warning, or someone will warn the hero. So in this case, Gandalf warned Frodo before they parted to never put on the ring, because the agents of the Dark Lord are betrothed to its power, and the ring is trying to get back to its master. So after Gandalf warned Frodo, they separate. Gandalf goes to Saruman, then Frodo followed Gandalf's instruction to go to the town of Bree. Meanwhile, the Black Riders or the Ring Rat is currently approaching the Shire after Frodo left with the ring. So that part is what you call reconnaissance. That is where the villain starts to make a move or gain some information and the like. So after reconnaissance, trickery will follow. It is when the villain attempts to deceive the hero or its companion. So in this case, Saruman tried to persuade Gandalf to take the side of the Dark Lord Sauron. So but before that, Gandalf accidentally slipped information about the whereabouts of the ring. So you can say that it can be the complicity, where hero naively acts in a way that can help the villain. So they unknowingly helping the enemy. So another part where we can see complicity is when the hobbits, when Frodo together with Sam, Merry and Pippin arrive at the town of Bree, then Frodo accidentally put on the ring that that caused him to be exposed to the eye of Sauron. So that part when he became exposed to the eye of Sauron, um, it's you can call it the delivery, or when the villain gains the information. So after the delivery, villainy and luck will take place. So it has two factors. First is when the villain caused some kind of harm. The second is the sense of luck. So after delivery, villainy and luck will follow. So it has two factors. First is when the villain identifies its needs, or when the villain creates harmful things to the hero or to its companion, or either to its hometown. Then second is the sense of luck, either the hero or the companions. So in the Fellowship of the Ring, it is when the Black Riders approach the town of Bree, aiming to kill the hobbits, especially Frodo. But luckily, Aragorn is there to save the hobbits. So they continue their journey to Rivendell after that situation. So, however, the Black Riders followed them at the weather top, um, which forced the hobbits to defend themselves because Aragorn is not around. Frodo, leaving no choice, puts on the ring that caused him to be exposed to the eye of Sauron. So, in that moment, Frodo violates the interdiction of Gandalf. So, back to the Fellowship of the Ring. Frodo hopes to escape the shadows or the Black Riders. However, he was stabbed by the sword of the ring rat. So this sword is very dangerous according to Aragorn. However, Frodo is lucky enough to meet Arwen, the daughter of Elrond, the leader of the elves. So Arwen helps Frodo and bring him to Rivendell, where Elrond cure him. So after curing Frodo, Elrond held a meeting to decide what will happen to the ring. So in this meeting, Frodo identified the luck, which is Frodo realized Frodo learned about the history of the ring, and he identifies the luck, which is that no one can come near the ring that can't be corrupted, aside from him. So as a counteraction, he accept the burden of bringing the ring into Mordor. However, he didn't know the path to Mordor, the place where the ring is forged, the place where it can also be destroyed. That's why Aragorn pledged to support and protect Frodo, followed by Gandalf, Legolas, Gimli, Sam, Merry and Pippin, and also the human Boromir. So they are the Fellowship of the Ring. So after the group is being created, so they continue their journey to Mordor, and the test starts, or the testing is start. That is where they face challenges to prove their worth. So the first challenge is when they travel to Misty Mountains, because Saruman cast spells that block the way. Block the way. Oh. That block the way with the snows and rock slides. So, thus Frodo decided to detours to the mine of Moria. So in the mine of Moria, um, they face a octopus, a riddle, a giant, and especially Balrog, the demon. So in their way out to the mine, um, Gandalf let them go first while facing Balrog alone. So, but unfortunately, Gandalf fell at the chasm of Khazad-dûm. So that brings despair to everyone, especially Frodo. However, they still continue their journey to Lorien. It is the forest of Galadrim elves. So at Lorien, Lady Galadriel tests their hearts. So as a reaction, everyone have a self-reflection. So and in addition to this, because Frodo is under the spell of Galadriel, he offers the ring to Galadriel, but she refuses, which also leads the I which also um, I with that Galadriel also passed his own test. So after proving their worth, the elves offers them gift that can help in their quest. So that is where acquisition took place. So after the acquisition, we have the departure. So and this the departure is when Frodo decides to leave everyone behind because he thinks of their safety. He thinks that the ring might corrupt them. However, he didn't have the chance to avoid Sam. That's why both of them set out to Mordor together. So, that are the structural function that is present in the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay, good day. I am Arvin E. Marcelo. I'm from Besed English, and I'm here to discuss about the part 2 of the trilogy of The Lord of the Rings, which is entitled as Two Towers. So I will be using Proppian analysis upon discussing it. So let's begin. The last part in the first part of the trilogy is when the friends or the troops consisting of Sam, Frodo, Merry and Pippin, and others separate ways because Merry and Pippin are kidnapped, and Sam and Frodo was the one left to embark on their journey. So as they are embarking to their journey, they met a Gollum, which is called Smigol in his old name. So for me, that part was the testing part where Gollum tried to attack Sam and Frodo, but the protagonist try to respond to the test. So that is reaction. So there are a lot of things happen actually. So for me, the parts of the Proppian analysis is not um not the same as what it is told in the story, but I will still identify the parts that for me corresponds to the Proppen analysis. So for me, the acquisition part where the hero gains magical item is in the first part where the magic ring is obtained by those people and give it to Frodo. Then then there are a lot of things happened like after the scene of Smeagol and the embark journey of Sam and Frodo. We have seen the two people, um this Merry and Pippin that was kidnapped. So they actually escape from those I believe from those people from Isengard. They escaped from that, and then they went through a dark forest where they meet the tree bread where they meet tree bread that was a living tree. So the other people like the dwarf and the elf met those people that wants to search for Theodred, the son of the king of the son of the king of Ro- Rohan. Okay, so they have met, and then they part ways. As they part ways, um, the elf and the elf, the man, and the elf, the man, and the dwarf discovered that Mary and Pippins went to the forest, so they followed it. And after that, um, the next part is okay. Let's continue. So, as the tree, the man, the dwarf, and the elf started to follow the tracks of Mary and Pippins. They met a white guy that they misunderstood, and it turns out that it's actually lost friend their lost friend's name is Gandalf. And then Gandalf the White tried to help them go to their way to Rohan to help the others. Okay, so the next scene is Gollum was seen leading the two, Sam and Frodo, to a swamp. So there is a scene there that the main protagonist um fell into the magic like thingy in the water. He almost drowned, but his friend or his accomplice tried to save him. So um after that after that Gollum led their way to the Black Gate, where they see the opening of the gate, but Gollum tried to help them to in a way that he tried to reject the two to enter it, because for him it's impossible and it's too risky or too dangerous. Okay, so wait lang. Okay, so let's get back. So as Gandalf got to Rohan, he tried to release the witchcraft that is done by the bad guys to the king of Rohan, and then he successfully executed it. And afterwards, the scene is the burial of the prince or the son of the king. And the second one is the scene that is next is they plan to the king decided to go his people to a place also part of Rohan. It was the Helm's Deep. So for the next scene, it is seen that Smeagol tries to fight or struggle to his own mind. Okay, so after that, while cooking, they heard a noise. Then, upon peeking to the woods, they saw servants of Sauron marching, and then some troops attacked them, and that's the scene where the two protagonists, Sam and Frodo, are captured. And then the next scene was the scene where Aragorn's lover Arwen is seen. So she identified Aragorn as Dúnedain, or the people that is blessed with life. So after that, there is a small battle between um, Rohan and Isengard, where Rohan won, but unfortunately, one of the protagonists, Aragorn, fell. Then after that, Aragorn managed to get back to Rohan. So for me, that's the guidance part in the Proppian analysis where the hero reach its destination. Then upon going back to Rohan, they prepare to have a battle again because Rohan saw some troops from Isengard marching, so he warned the king. Then afterwards, the great battle is about to happen. Okay, so after that, the bloody battle begins. After the plan, Isengard was seen marching towards Helm's Deep, and there is actually some more battles like the Ents versus their destroyers when where they destroyed their territory by destroying the dam, so the fire is extinguished by the waters. And also it is seen the battle between the dragon like thingy that wants to get the ring against the territory of Faramir, the brother of the old friend of Sam. So it is also seen that the protagonists are branded. So that part is branding where the hero is branded. So in the end, um, the good still wins. So Rohan, or aka Helm's Deep, wins its battle against the opposing the opposing one, which is the Isengard. So that is the victory and resolution where the villain is defeated and the main problem was solved. So the last scene of the trilogy, part two, is a scene that Sam and Frodo are embarking their journey again to Mordor to destroy the ring. But Spiegel has a very dirty thinking that he is planning onto something against the two. So that's it. I'm sorry again for pausing and pausing again since there are some students. There are some noises here in the university. So that's it. I hope that I explained it thoroughly.
Good day, I am Marie Ashley Beltran from BSED 4-1 English, and this is the final part of the Proppian analysis of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King is the third and final volume of J.R.R. Tolkien's epic fantasy trilogy, The Lord of the Rings. It is a complex and multifaceted tale with multiple storylines and characters, and here is a more comprehensive summary. The movie opens with a continuation of Frodo Baggins and Samwise Gamgee's journey to Mount Doom in Mordor to destroy the One Ring, the source of the power of Dark Lord Sauron. They are accompanied with the treacherous Gollum, who has his own hidden agenda. Their path is fraught with danger and hardship, but they press on towards their goal. Meanwhile, the other members of the Fellowship of the Ring are embroiled in their own struggles. Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and their allies lead an army of men from Gondor, Rohan, and other free people against Sauron's forces. They face overwhelming odds as they fight to buy Frodo and Sam the time they need to complete their mission. In Gondor, the great city of Minas Tirith comes under siege by Sauron's forces, led by the Witch King and his Nazgul. Gandalf and Pippin arrive in the city and help organize its defense, but the situation seems dire. Denethor, the steward of Gondor, descends into madness, and Aragorn's true lineage is revealed as he takes up his role as the rightful king, Elessar. Back in the Shire, the Hobbits face their own troubles as Saruman's agent, Wormtongue, takes control. The Hobbit, led by Merry and Pippin, rise up to protect their homeland and the corrupting influence of Saruman. As Frodo, Sam, and Gollum reach the Mount Doom, they face the ultimate test of their resolve. Gollum's obsession with the ring leads to a climactic struggle in which he bites off Frodo's finger, taking the ring for himself. However, in his ecstasy over regaining the ring, Gollum loses his balance and falls into the fiery chasm, destroying both himself and the ring. With the ring's destruction, Sauron's power is broken and his armies are defeated. The Dark Lord is vanquished and his fortress, Barad-dûr, crumbles. The free people of Middle-earth celebrate the victory, but the cost has been high and many lives has been lost. The novel concludes with the various storylines resolving. Aragorn is crowned as King of Gondor and the world begins to heal. Frodo, deeply scarred by his experiences, must leave Middle-earth along with Gandalf, Bilbo, and the other elves to find peace in the Undying Lands. The remaining members of the Fellowship part ways, knowing that their lives has been forever changed by this epic journey. The last part of this trilogy showed us that the last part of the Morphology as well. Guidance, where Frodo and Sam reached the Mount Doom, their struggles, Frodo's branding, and the victory of both Frodo and Sam, and Aragorn's great battle, and the resolution of the story where Aragorn is crowned the King of Gondor. They return to their homes and the wedding, which is supposedly the last element on Propp's morphology between Samwise Gamgee and the woman of his dreams, occurred. This was followed by Frodo's transfiguration as he departed together with Gandalf and the elves. However, as I've watched the movie closely, I didn't encounter the 20th up to the 28th element of the morphology. Nevertheless, the return of the king is a tale of heroism, sacrifice, friendship, and enduring the power of good against evil, set in richly imagined world filled with magic, diverse culture, and epic battles. That is all. Thank you.